Big up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Solomon is back again with another video, and I'm just trying to be as consistent as possible. Don't forget to smash up the like and subscribe and do everything now. Come on now, we can do this. This is what you are not subscribed. I beg, subscribe first. First subscribe first. Make you first subscribe first before we go to talk anything. First subscribe. Pause the video, subscribe first. Then make we come talk. Now, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to smash up the like, and I said, subscribe. We are in the 176 counts. Let's just make it. We are going to 500. Come on, let us do it. Now, today we want to look at the theory of the Premier League season. The Premier League season has ended, and every team has performed according to their capability. Everybody don't do their best. Now, season don't end. I know one year, if you want better, keep that one till the beginning of next season. Now we are talking about Nigeria. But if we want to talk about football, not about English Premier League again, that's over. We'll be watching the final of the UEFA Champions League. But this time, we want to look at the season report card for every of the big six teams. Every of the big six teams. So I'm going to try to drop my bias cap and just look at the season honestly, the way I've seen it. Ranking from A to F. You understand? A being the best and F being the poorest. So A being the best, F being the poorest. That's how we're going to look at everybody's team. We're going to look at the big teams all together. So when we're going to start from all teams together, so I'm going to start not in any order actually. I'm going to start according to how I feel these teams be the need for the team. Anyhow, I just feel it's just randomly. I'm not just picking according to team. So let's just jump into it. So I'm going to be starting with Arsenal. Now, let's be honest with ourselves. We're supposed to assess Arsenal's season. How has Arsenal's season been this season? Now, there has been success and there has been failure. I'm going to be honest, and then I will try to be as honest as possible in this video, not to get anybody gassed up. Even live fans, I would like to know what you think in the comment section. So let's start with Arsenal. Now, let me tell you something. We finished second in a row, second 3 times in a row now, and naturally, that is consistency. For somebody to finish second 3 times in a year, yes, you can laugh at it, but it is consistency. But the problem that I see is that, one of the key success of this is that at least they can now they've been consistent with whatever they are doing. They've been able to replicate seconds a couple of times, even in the UEFA Champions League. Also, they got to the semi-final of that particular tournament and they are knocked out. The cup competition, yes, they could have done more about it, but that's just how it actually, so far so good look like for their season. But one key point and one key success for their season so far, is the case of their set pieces. I think at the beginning of the season, the set pieces was actually working everywhere, but suddenly now, I don't think at the moment that it's actually serving as the best option towards the end of the season. I think everybody got the trick. But their key point and that thing is they've been able to exploit their set pieces and gaps in defense, and their defense has actually contributed to their attack. Having Gabriel scoring many goals. So for me, that has been for them success this season. They've been consistent in the league. Yes, at least to be able to come second a couple of times. It's not easy. And also, they've also been able to effectively use their set piece routines, to shock teams in the Premier League this season, and they've gotten more goals. Now, the failure of the team this season is number one. Arsenal has dropped whopping 18 points from winning position this season. 18 points from winning position this season, which indicates issues in them managing games. That means Arsenal finds it very difficult in managing games, and that has to do with tactical aspect of the game, and also with everything that they have done, even apart from the injury. I think one key problem that Arsenal has had in this season is they not being able to see out games. So for them not being able to see out game, losing points in 18 points from winning position this season, that's one thing I think Arteta needs to look into if going into next season. I think that was one of their failure. And despite the strongly performance, they failed to secure any silverware, which I like the need for them to be consistent in getting things over the line. And I guess that's where the ups and downs is on Arsenal fans generally now. All Arsenal fans now, that's why we have this misunderstanding even amongst Arsenal fans. People are worried and I'm not sure if Arteta can be the one, to get us over the line. But for me, what I think Arteta can do in order to improve next season to get this world, number one, is maintain that lead. Whenever you are up front, Arsenal should be able to see out game. It doesn't matter whether you are one goal up. And the issue of, red card, I don't want to talk about this injury or no injury stuff. When you are ahead in games, be able to see it out. If you cannot win a game, then don't lose the point you have already in the game. And number two, I feel that the squad needs depth. I think the whole not being able to rotate players enough also had a lot to do with that. So if Arteta is able to have enough players to rotate and also to see out game, I believe that season, next season is going to be better for Arsenal. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. But generally, I looking at this, if I'm supposed to score and give a report card for Arsenal this season, I will give them a C. Because yes, they got into the Champions League semi-final, but for what we are expecting of them, at least there should be a trophy to show for it. I'll be grading Arsenal a C. And you will get what I feel you get when I get to other teams. I'll give Arsenal a C for this season. It's not been bad because they got to the semi-final of the Champions League and they finished second. It's not as if they're terrible. And also they got to the semi-final or quarter-final, semi-final of the Carabao Cup, and also even though they lost the game we lost this season has not been because we've been very, very terrible. It's just because we've not been able to, hold on to that our consistency and get results. I don't want to hold on to the injury aspect of it, but for me, I think Arsenal is a C. Now moving to the next team, and that is Chelsea. Now we shout up on these people for long. They spend money, they did this, they did that. But actually, have they attained success this season? Number one, under Enzo Maresca, they secured the UEFA Conference League recently, and they finished fourth, meaning that they are also in the Champions League. You also have Cole Palmer, which has been a standout performer for them throughout their European success. In fact, I think he outshined everybody in that Europa League final, and in that Conference League final. It was very, very outstanding for them. But generally, looking at Chelsea season, the only issue, I've highlighted their success, but the only failure I will see in their squad right now is the fact that despite the lot of chances, despite the number of chances Chelsea is created this season, Chelsea is among the teams that has created most chances this season, but they've not been able to convert those particular chances. So meaning that they lack striker, with the likes of having been there have been inconsistencies with most of all their players. We have inconsistencies in their left wing position, and also now they are trying to address that. They are trying to get a striker. I think they are likely to sign Liam Delap this season. Try to bluster the attack. I feel like that has been their problem. Their problem is not being able to convert the chances that they got. And looking at that, if I will look at it, they brought in the likes of Jordan Sancho and also Joao Felix, to complement their left-sided attack, but it hasn't actually converted enough to goals for them so far. So despite that they've spent a lot of money, their team has actually created enough, but they've not been able to just put it at the back of the net. So for me, that I feel that has been their failure this season. Now, what can they improve? I think they need to improve their finishing and be able to capitalize on every of the chances that they have created. And for them to do this, they need to address every of the inconsistency in their attack. Chelsea attack needs to at least be more potent and get results in games. So for me, rounding up their season, I will be giving them a B, because one way or the other, one of their goals would have been to get them back into the Champions League and to also win a trophy, which they did. They won a trophy, even though it's not the trophy that they would have wanted to win. They got to Champions League, their minimum objective for the season, considering the kind of money they spent. I think they didn't spend up to that amount of money, and probably they didn't invest so much in the team and the whole thing. I would have given them higher. But basically, I think a B is good enough for Chelsea for this season. Moving to the next person, and that is Liverpool. Yeah, definitely we know they are the league winner. They won the 28 league title under Arne Slot in his first season, and Mo Salah and Gravenberch. Mo Salah, in fact, every player that I've listed that are in the picture, Mo Salah, Van Dijk, McAllister, Gravenberch. All these players have shown that they have been very, very outside. They were outstanding this season. So for me, there's nothing much to say about them. Yes, they lost. They went out of the Carabao Cup. They lost the Carabao Cup to Newcastle. They also went out in Champions League and also the FA Cup. But they actually won the league, which is in their first attempt. Yes, me, I'm not in the league of those that will say, let me tell you something. I feel Liverpool, we just slept on Liverpool. Liverpool was not as bad as they could. But considering what they have done this season, they actually won the league, which is basically the primary objective of every team that is starting in the Premier League. Now, what do I think is their failure? I think, and which I think they have been addressing this season, is number one, the issue of signing the right player that will make impact in their team. They brought in Federico Chiesa, who was not able to actually contribute much more to the team at the moment. But still, they were able to get something. And then the failure will be the disappointment in the Carabao Cup. But still, they still got the league. And what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. What are the areas that I think Liverpool can improve? Now, number one, I think they need to integrate their new signing more, get more, which I think they are doing now. They're trying to get a right wing, defensive, right back. I think they are going for also a striker at the moment. So right now, I think they are addressing every of that. I think they're already doing that, putting that in place now. So I'm expecting Liverpool to actually be better next season. They are going to have more squad to rotate with. Slot did well rotating the squad this season, and he was able to get results with them. So overall, I think Liverpool has a good season. I think they are going to only get better next season. And for me, for their season, I will be grading them A, because Liverpool, I believe they did. That's the minimum that they can do. It's just minimum for an A. You understand? Is win your league. When you win your league, there is nothing. That is the best that you can do. Yes, you can also add a team like the Champions League and the rest of them, but at least you've shown that over 38 games, you are the best in the league. So for me, Liverpool will be going for I'm going with an A. Now moving to Manchester City. Now, let me tell you something. This club has set the standard. Because of the standard that you have set, that is the reason why I will be very, very strict with you. Now, speaking of the challenges, City has had a lot of challenges, talking about injuries, and they're talking about the injury to Rodri and some of their player loss that they have done in the season, and the squad getting old. Of course, yes. But the problem is that they added the likes of Umar Mamouche and all the attack, just to bluster everything. They tried everything in January to get, the team into shape. That is a success for me. For what they are doing, I think they are able to get their team changed. Despite the fact that their season was going haywire, but they were able to resuscitate and still able to finish in the top 4 this season. Now, the failures are the season-ending injury to Rodri, also the Haaland injury, and also the early exit from every cup competition, and also losing that cup to Crystal Palace. That is honestly another case that it is also that, as I personally feel, is an issue for them this season. Now, what can they improve on? Now, they need to build a greater squad depth and also reintegrate and impact, let those players that are coming back in, impact that game more. They have the likes of Mamouche and some other players that are trying to actually acquire to strengthen the team. And their team actually needs rejuvenation. That team has won a lot. The likes of Kevin De Bruyne have gotten that I think there's a new fresh new blood need to come in for that team to become European champions and to even continue to dominate the game, because they have set a standard that everybody cannot actually beat. Like, it is now the standard of Man City that we are following this season. So looking at their season so far, if I'm supposed to be grading their season with the standard that they have set, for me, they have just been ordinary this season. I'll give them a C. Now, moving up to Manchester United. Yes, they got to the final of the UEFA Europa League. They finished 15th in the Premier League. Their manager, we all know that the only positive thing about them is the fact that they are able to finish in the final of the Europa League, which they still lost to a team like Tottenham. Hotspur. So for me, not much success in in this season. They finished 15, which is a failure for them. Their manager is struggling to unify, everything about the squad at the moment. Now, what do they need to improve? First of all, they need to implement their tactical vision. We need to know a pattern of play. We need to understand that United has a pattern of play and something they want to actually, play. Something you want to do. Let's know the plan. Let's know the plan you want to work with. Then we can now build on that. And with the fact that they actually need attackers now, they're talking about Victor Osimhen. They're talking about trying to get strikers. Let's see what happens. I believe that if they're able to get that, they maximize the potential of the squad. You can't tell me that squad, that is how terrible the squad is. There is a lot that can still be gotten out of that squad. I feel like Almiron needs to get better with getting results from that club. So for me, assessing United squad there's nothing to write. It has been nothing to write on my back so far. And for me, if I'm to be grading United season, I'll be giving them an E because I feel like they have been in shambles this season. And finally, I'll be looking at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, yes, let me tell you something. Let me just count their success. 17 years, no trophy, that's ended. And Postecoglou, the chaotic style of play, straight, eye line for life, is something that gave them a dynamism and it made some of their fans happy. And it is very, very nice that he has actually earned them a trophy this season. But the failure is they finished 17th and there have been inconsistency in their performances. They've been losing games they are not supposed to lose. Tottenham is not as terrible enough as losing to the likes of Ipswich and co. So for me, that is just has been the downside concerning that. The tactical approach that they are always going all gun attack. If you look at the way they played in the final of the UEFA Europa League, they actually were conservative a little bit. They didn't actually go all gun out. After they got the goal, they sat back and they got results. So what are the things they need to do to improve? They need to balance their attack ambition and their defensive ambition so that you'll be good going forward. You also be good defensively. Not that you just go all out attack and no defense. I feel like that's what they need to do. And then they need to enhance squad depth so that they need enough players. Hopefully, with the Champions League money, they should be able to acquire more players for them to be able to add depth to that squad, which will improve that squad and let the squad get better to what the squad is like. What do you think about my analysis? Let me know in the comment section. So for me, I'll be grading Tottenham season a B because ending the 17 years drought is not a joke. So respect to Tottenham over there. Even though I'm an Arsenal fan, respect to Tottenham. And finally, what are my general take concerning the whole season? Now, number one, Arsenal had a strong league performance, but they need to convert, those consistency to trophies. Nobody cares about what you have done. You need to convert those consistency to trophies. Nobody is happy with you coming second all the time. You need to win trophies. Number two, Chelsea, positive European success. They need to focus on improving their finishing up front, and so that they can actually continue to be back to where they are supposed to be. They need to improve their finishing. Meaning they need a striker, which I know they are working on. Liverpool, champions, standard performance. They should come, try to, it's one of the most difficult things to maintain in life is a lead. You are now the goal that everybody is watching. Everybody will come for you next season. You should be prepared. You should be able to integrate your new signing effectively. Make sure they are, working fine, and then you will be able to defend or at least make sure you do get result again because it is a seasonal thing. You continue to improve. For City, City needs to maintain, top three. City maintain the top three finish. They need to address the squad depth. And also, rejuvenating all those their players, like that of Kevin De Bruyne, and those are the players who are becoming aged, and at least find a way to get Phil Foden kicking again. Then also United, it's a very disappointing season. So they need to first of all sort out their tactical direction for me before anything can be worked out. And finally, on Spurs are still caught between whether to sack their manager or to keep their manager. But what I will tell you is this. For me, you need to find consistency in your performance. Balance. Going forward, coming defending, you have to keep a balance if you actually want to make the season, the next season, visible for yourself. Well, that's my opinion. That is my season report card of all the Premier League Big Six this season. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to smash up the like, subscribe, and let me know what you think about this report card. Do you think anybody should have gotten higher mark and I've given me lower mark? Do you think I am biased? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to smash up the like. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you on the next one. Peace.